I don't try to go find celebrities or go out of my way to like, oh my God, I'm rubbing shoulders with so-and-so. If I wanted to do that, I could rub shoulders with every single person in the world, but I'd be Jason Calacanis, right? I'd be a no talent sycophant, just glomming onto, you know, and some people like to do that. Something's called networking to some people. I'm on Friends and Family and ChatGPT. Love you, baby. Yeah, who wants to be somebody else's boy? You know, I'm gonna be myself. I'm me. I got just as much love for Uncle Larry down the block than I do for Michael Jordan. You know, what difference does it make? You know, when you go to the grave, you're not going to say, I knew so-and-so. You're going to care about the people that you loved, that you built real relationships with. You know, not, well, you know, this one time I was standing next to Katy Perry. She said she liked my shirt and it made my day. Yeah, that's right, AL, that's right. And that's why, you know, when I do talk to famous people, it's not because they're famous or I want to be famous or they want to talk to me or whatever because I'm famous. It's because there's a, you know, true desire to connect on some other level. And if not, like, you know, I had some famous people contact me all the time and I just leave them on red, you know, and I just like, I got nothing to do with you. You know, I got other stuff to do. Alejandro, what's the next big stock? Tesla's a weird one. Tesla's like I said, the world's biggest startup, which I think is a compliment, but the stock's going to be pretty volatile. Yeah, so Tesla, I mean, it's pretty expensive. Robotics may not be coming soon. The vibes are not good. Can these two kiss and make up? Sure. Does that affect Tesla's business? I don't think it makes a difference. I never really thought Tesla was that cheap to begin with or that exciting to begin with, so I'm not sure. It's like, you know, why would you want to rush out and buy it necessarily? Yeah, exactly, Zeem. Otherwise, I'd buy it for the dip, but yeah, but Zeem, they're up a lot. I mean, Tesla stock is $1 trillion market cap. It's not like Tesla longs are suffering that bad. I wouldn't be involved in Tesla stock at the moment. That's not exactly a call on Tesla either. Yeah, can't fall in love, that's for sure. Wow, CoreWeave down 17%. Oh, Perplexity has a curiosity cafe driving around New York. Free Perplexity coffee. Yeah, I did. Sure. I've always been interested in computing. I followed the Intel acquisition of Nirvana when I was in prison. My dad, God rest his soul, my dad kept me up to date on that. I don't know what's going to happen with neuromorphic. So this is just a big fight, and it's playing out in the stock market between two friends or ex-friends. Oh no! Oh my God! I think you short the whole market, right? Just short it all, right? We just short everything. It's over. Elon says Trump is in the Epstein files. I think you got to short Tesla, right? Short DJT? Short Tesla? DJT dropping like a rock. Let's short some more DJT here. Look at DJT trades. DJT dropping. I just shorted some. We're putting out some DJT short here. DJT's at $20. We respect the president, by the way. This is just a financial transaction, just trading. It's not disrespectful. I just have to, this is for my family. Okay? What other trades can you think of? Short bonds, what else? So I think you buy Tesla. Doesn't this solve the problem for Tesla? See, I'm used to having a room full of traders. I got a room full of programmers. They don't know what to do. They're sitting there writing code. You got to be decisive. You got to whip it and flip it. I think you buy Tesla calls. This is bullish for Tesla. There's no bearish outcome for Tesla. If the fight continues, he sells more cars to libs. Okay? If the fight is done and they make up, the stock go back up either way. It's a win-win. They can cut Tesla subsidies. It doesn't matter. Trump's gone in 3 years. He just lost the election. He just lost the libs. Isn't that what Trump said? He just lost the liberals. He just lost the liberal vote. This is wild. We're watching history unfold. Let's jump into Wall Street Bet. Let's see, was Wall Street Bets? Try to find Wall Street Bets on my stupid thing here. I see destiny.gg. I'm still in Wall Street Bets. Let's head in there.
Watch, Trump will be like, but this odd open.
Yeah, this is the biggest drop since summer 2020. This is wild.
I'm watching NVIDIA. I'm hoping it doesn't drop much more than this, but...
Do you guys remember that guy, Boris, who's like, I'm going to go long on Tesla right before all this?
Just 10x.
What do we think about on Bitcoin?
It's all going to take a hit now. I'm sure it's all going to take a hit.
I don't know if I'm team anything. I'm team Shkreli. I bought some Tesla calls. Yeah, what's up, Plate? I bought some Tesla calls. Looks like a good trade so far. That's true, Sebastian. I could call Milo. But yeah, it's just not too presidential to go into this kind of cat fight. Yeah, there could be more shoes to drop. It is Trump's turn to drop, so maybe who knows? Trump could say something. What spooked the market today? Could have something to do with the richest man in the world and the president of the United States having a public fight. Oh yeah, he might get deported. He's technically not, right? He's technically doesn't have his papers. We actually checked and he's not a citizen. He's, you know, I hate to do it to him, but...
Because you'd be in jail. Look at this guy.
I don't know what he is or isn't. All I'm saying is I don't put it past Trump to do it. Yeah, I just bought it half an hour ago, so I'm not bullish or bearish either. I don't care. On the one hand, you get to buy the best entrepreneur of all time. On the other hand, you're paying $1 trillion. Yeah, maybe Rocket Lab is the big winner here. That's got to be it. RKLB is the big long. They're going to take all SpaceX's contracts. I don't view options or common as that much different. I mean, I'm getting long exposure one way or another. I don't mind Elon turning against me, but he should have done so months ago. This is one of the greatest bills ever presented to Congress. It's a record cut in expenses and the biggest tax cut ever. If the bill doesn't pass, there'll be a 68% tax increase and things far worse than that. I didn't create this mess. I'm just here to fix it. Very measured response from Trump. Oh boy. Elon just said a bunch of stuff. He said, in light of the president's statement about cancellation of my government contract, SpaceX will be decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft immediately. Okay. And then a raised eyebrow emoji at Elon never asked me for a thing. I mean, I got rid of the EV mandate, but he's never asked me for a thing. Elon's a patriot. He's really going nuts. Trump should be impeached and JD should replace him.
Yeah, this is a crash out. It's a full-on crash out.
We've had a net loss of 600.
Well, if you're just tuning in, wild day today in the markets. Trump tariffs will cause a recession in the second half this year. Woo. Oh, 𝗥𝗢𝗓𝗏, I'm glad you're here. I got something just for you. I was over at MIT, and they found a book, you know, a lot of quantum work at MIT, and they gave me a book just for you. Believe it or not. I said, you guys know about 𝗥𝗢𝗓𝗏? They said, yes, we do. I said, do you know about quantum mechanics? I said, we're experts at quantum mechanics here at MIT, so they gave me this book. Here it is. There you go, 𝗥𝗢𝗓𝗏. The big baggie. Look at you holding the bag. You're holding the bag ever since you were a baby. Oh, particles can be entangled in quantum physics. Look at that. Yay, the pictures. I know, you know, some people read Mike and Ike. You read this one. Huh? Oh. Stock twits are saying, it reminds me of Palantir, D-Wave. They're literally trying to figure out how they're going to do $1 million of revenue next quarter. Palantir, generational wealth creation. Yeah, we knew about the one big client for D-Wave 5 months ago. It was all the revenue for this quarter. It was $15 million. I mean, what are you supposed to do, Vivelo? It's like, I don't know how they're going to do. What's 60 million? They don't have 60 million in revenue. Before this computer, revenue was a couple million a quarter, 2 million a quarter. They're not doing 60 a year. No. They're supposed to do 2 million next quarter. They're going to do 2 or 3 million next quarter. And their bookings are 1.5. So I don't know how they're going to even make it. Well, the worst part is the revenue wasn't even growing the last 3 years. And if you take out the one machine they sold, the revenue was growing for 4 years. No guidance. Why give guidance? Great companies just say, you know what? We don't know what's going to happen next quarter. They gave guidance last quarter. Now they said, yeah, we're good. We don't need to tell you. You don't need to know. Do you know the VCs wouldn't touch quantum? These guys had to go public through a SPAC. And Chamath wouldn't even touch these guys. Yeah, it could be okay, Joseph. But, you know, the more you double down on one stock, the more you're risking complete death. You don't want to risk. Well, if the analysts, they would say, hey, is there any reason you're not giving guidance? One guy kind of asked, and they snapped at him. No banking business for you, bud. No. Julian Robertson and George Soros called it quits in 2000 for the same reason. Okay? For the same reason. The market was too irrational. They said, we can't trade this market. Doesn't make any sense. Company reports bad news, goes up 53%. What? Top performer at Citadel is barely break even this year. Citadel's flat for the year. Oh, credit's easy when you mark your own book. Yeah, they're like flattish, Phil. I think they'll be up about 2% right now. 0.72 is up like 3 or 4. No, there's a ton of big credit funds now. Apollo, KKR. There's only a handful of biotech funds I really respect. Although I'm friends with a lot of them. I mean, I it's very close to home, so I probably shouldn't talk about it. Well, Greg, that's good for you. It reminds me of the old saying from an Eminem song. Will Smith doesn't have to curse to sell records. Well, I do. Equities is a different world. There's only two ways to do equities. You either get lucky or you do a pod shop.
So the problem with bag holders is that they only have one stock because they're broke. So they're just preying on their lotto ticket stock to go up a lot. Please, 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 please. Please, Rigetti, make me rich, please. But what's nice is when you have 50 stocks, you can be wrong on one of them. It's okay. American Express is really cheap. It doesn't get treated with the same respect. Okay, so the straddle on Applovin is $60. Applovin is just nuts. This is going to be the craziest stock. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm still in HIMS, but it's not been too bad to me. Sarepta's been my big problem. Nobody cares that you're short Sarepta or you're typing that you're short Sarepta because nobody knows who you are. When I say I'm long or short something, it matters. When you say you're long or short something, it's random noise. You're polluting the internet. Stop polluting. It's bad for the environment. Yeah, the problem is, they're shady, allegedly. And I don't think there's anything illegal about their business. Read the Muddy Waters report, I guess, if you want. I think I'll stay away from this. Seems like a crooked company, to be honest. But what am I supposed to do? I mean, premium selling is not guaranteed profits. So there's BZUN, BZUN. It's looks like one of those typical Chinese companies. It's not clear if they're a real company or not. We got to figure that out. It takes time to do that, by the way. You can't do that in 5 minutes. What's the Trump headline? The secret information's out? Well, we have news headlines if you use NH. The question is, do you want macro headlines, and would there be semantic search that allow you to do that? So we're talking about that and figuring that out. Like if you type NI tariffs, you should be able to get all the same stuff. But yeah, we can also hire a reporter. Yeah, AMC might be terrible company, terrible stock. I don't think it matters, Jack. Just do the best job you can. Carry yourself with integrity. Carry yourself with honesty. Don't steal anything. Get a good reputation, and great things will happen to you. You want people to think, oh, there's a new job opening at this firm. The first person they think of is, let me call Jack. He's the most honest, trustworthy person I know. He's the hardest worker, and that's the first person I'm going to call. Warns of higher risks to the U.S. economy. Not good, not good. Oh, these guys are listed in Hong Kong. I didn't know that.
China.
I didn't know they were listed in Hong Kong. Why didn't you tell me that? HKEX Hong Kong Exchange. BZUN. Wait, how could the market cap?
China.
Yeah, I didn't think of it either as a long or a short when I looked at it. We are going to have merch soon. We're going to give it away for free to our users and to people that work at financial firms. We're trying to get Godel branded ZYN. You know what ZYN is? ZYNs? Huge margins. EBITDA. Think about how crazy this is. Revenue, $1.2 billion. EBITDA, $980 million. 81% EBITDA margin. If that's not a crime somewhere in there, who's got that? Who's got an 80% EBITDA margin? I don't know how they're doing what they're doing, right? I mean, 81%. They're making $5 billion somehow in the Facebook ecosystem. Yeah, I might sell a little bit here. This wasn't that good. This is kind of what people thought would happen. Ad revenue growth is up 71%. It's a $100 million beat in each quarter. The fundamental question is, if the business is still cooked because it's some weird one-time thing, right? I'm shorting some 353. All the HFT guys canceled their order into a vacuum so that that's so weird. It was trading 356 or something. I could short more, I guess, at 358, but that was a nasty fill. All right, not such a nasty fill now, thank you. Always use limit orders. But I picked a low limit order, assuming I'd get filled at better prices. Okay, I'll put one out at 358 too. Made $1. Cover. 1%. Made 1% real quick. Choosing a discount rate is the art of finance. Here, let's open it up. 50.48. $50. I can double down. I guess I will. I'm down 22% on this stock. 22% is not a lot. Right there, people down. For example, IonQ is down more than that this year. I don't know if you know how much IonQ is down this year. Let me pull it up. It's down 30% this year. Yeah, I got the average down as well, so I'm down 10% on one account and 20% on this account. That's nothing. And my account's still up. Baggies don't understand that. I haven't looked at KPTI in a while. I don't think it's selinexor, right? I mean, I don't know how much longer that drug's going to be around. It's not really used much. There's a lot of new multiple myeloma drugs coming out. I don't know where it's used mostly. You gotta realize nobody wants minimum wage workers. Why would you want a minimum wage worker? You want somebody who says, I want you to pay me $1 million because I'm going to make you $100 million. You tell me you work for minimum wage, I say that's because you're worthless. I don't want you to learn. Why would I want you to learn? Why do I care what you want? Because you want to learn? What does that have to do with me? Why do I care what you want to do? Oh, you want to learn? That's great. Go to school. Sure, Anthony, if you want to buy my startup, you can employ me. I don't know. It doesn't sound like you could afford it, Anthony. Sounds like the deal might be a little too big. Have you been keeping up with what Kathy and Dr. He are doing? Did you see that? They got married?
Oh my God. Yes.
It would reduce Alzheimer's by 90%. It's just, Rubicon we don't want to cross, right? It's too scary. It's too dangerous. We were playing God, and that's frightening. And, they put the guy in jail for, just practicing medicine, in essence, with informed consent. I don't like that they put him in jail. The ethics of embryonic gene editing are probably past my pay grade and everybody else's. It's a really something that as a society we have to just get comfortable with and understand and not go down the eugenics path, ideally. I think that for therapeutic indication where the patient consents, the doctor consents, the state saying, no, we know what's better for your health than you and the doctor. Yeah, I don't know that that's really the way we should be going. This wasn't sort of like a situation where, they could just, it wasn't a cosmetic defect or something. It wasn't elective. It was pretty exigent situation. So I don't know. I support Dr. He, and again, still knowing Kathy for 10 years, shocked that they're married, but happy for them. See you later.
I wouldn't touch UNH. I would probably short it. They lost their mojo. I don't think capper earnings will matter, no.
The capper.
China.
Yeah, I don't think it's the most favored nation thing's gonna have much of an impact. Sarepta's gonna be in the doghouse and then probably go up in a few months or something. But again, I'm just guessing. I'd rather be long and early than long or not long when it's too late. Yeah, it's hard to be a monopsony in pharma, which is what you need to control it. Yeah, I agree with the sugar high thesis. Sarepta's not a gene editor, it's more gene therapy. Market very well, may go back to all-time highs. It's a little bit pricey though. Earnings growth isn't that good. All right, the rally is getting our account back a little bit. Not the rally, the fallen D-Wave. Return to Earth. Only down 16 now. I think I'll make at least 30% in this account this year. When a trade goes really well, I think you would ask yourself, has the market moved to my opinion? So this is like Michael Steinhardt, variant perception. So I think Lilly is kind of fairly valued, maybe even a little overvalued. So if you have a variant perception, you want the market to adopt your perception. But once it's done that, there should be no alpha left. And you take your trade. And you don't overstay your welcome. If the market's mostly adopted your theory, you can move on. So my variant perception on D-Wave is that revenue will be close to nothing in the next 3 years. But I think the baggies, their perception is led by management that actually they will have revenue. And I'm very confident D-Wave will not be able to sell its garbage. I am down on my D-Wave short on this particular trade. Yeah, I'm still bullish on Resolute. Yes, I'm a fundamental analysis value investor, yes. Palo Alto Networks is the 117th biggest company in the world. So it's a mega cap. Last I checked, it's got a $116 billion valuation, up maybe a little bit from there. It is a very expensive stock, 15 times trailing sales, but doesn't mean anything necessarily yet. I am selling my IVVD. So any of you home gamers out there long IVVD, I am selling what I own and moving on here. Adios. Good profit. I'll buy it back when it's under $1 again. My account for this thing got messed up because Schwab issued what's known as a margin call to me, which JP Morgan has also been, and UBS. And unlike those banks, they don't actually make a phone call. They just take your positions out. So I was pretty upset when they did that. I said, that's not cool, bro. Why you gotta do that? Why you gotta be like that, bro? And what they said was that for Schwab, you have to be able to ride out a 3x on any stock that you're short, which is kind of a little crazy. So, you know, I don't get that, but they let me get into the position. So I could have added more funds, but I kind of want this account to be like a pure experiment. It's basically all short quantum. It's pretty much the whole portfolio, and long Sarepta. So it wasn't supposed to be a YOLO account, but it's kind of becoming a YOLO account again. When D-Wave was up 20% on bad news, I was just like, this is crazy. It'll be down today. It finished the day up 50%. 50. 5-0. It's easier to sell the stock. I'm not going to trade some penny stocks, call options. I'm not going to be this new CEO of United Healthcare. I'm not bullish on rare disease pharma. I'm just bullish on companies with good drugs and stuff like that.